Thank you very much, Patrick, and colleagues, friends, an absolute pleasure to be here. Patrick, you asked for one big idea. I'm going to bring four, but very, very fast. And these, I believe, are short-term interventions that can move the needle. The first to speak directly to unblocking some of the hurdles that we know we're going to face in Glasgow. The first, and I want to follow on Ngozi's comment in terms of you're not hearing the voice of the WTO in the climate discussions, certainly in the lead up to COP. I had the opportunity to chair a session at the UK Ministerial just a few weeks ago. I had all of the guilty parties in one room, the US, Russia, China, Poland, Brazil, South Korea, Australia. India was not there. What came out of this discussion, and there was an incredible interplay between John Kerry and the Russians, and the clear message was, where is trade in these discussions? It was clear from each of those parties that real issues that unfortunately the UNFCCC framework does not allow, the real issues were trade related. And the clear message that we took coming out of that session was what are no's currently in the negotiating process in the lead up to Glasgow could become yeses if a separate discussion took place at the WTO level. I've spoken to Patricia about this directly, and this big idea is to get the two of you talking as soon as we following this meeting. I believe there is a clear role for you in those discussions right now, so your voice should not be silent. The second, and this follows on from a comment by Patricia, within the existing agreement, there are so many adaptation hooks within the negotiations that developing vulnerable countries have not hung their hat on. So whether it is the Global Goal on Adaptation, the Adaptation Committee, the Adaptation Registry, RNAPs, the issue of share of proceeds and pushing that agenda within Article 6, all of these areas are ill-defined. We, as vulnerable nations, have placed a lot of attention on the keeping 1.5 alive, as we should. But that attention needs to be expanded to placing our fingerprints all over those provisions within the negotiations, and for developing countries, the most vulnerable countries, to actually lead that process. That opportunity exists. The third idea, the triple AP. I love what you're doing for Africa. This is a model that can be expanded immediately to small island developing states, to other developing countries, but specific to SIDS. Grenada has been leading in developing its climate resilient, climate smart cities program, its Smart Small States program. And when I see what you've achieved with Africa, Grenada is not too far behind, some critical pieces that need to be put in place, but that framework can be replicated to all 43 small island developing states to give volume and momentum behind this initiative, and that can start now. The final point, and this links to, again, a SIDS package. We had the honor of hosting Nigel Topping last week, the high-level champion under the presidency for non-state actors. We had an incredible session at how we can leverage public monies to crowd in private finance. And I understand a conversation's taken place with Kristalina on this. And our goal is to make an announcement at Glasgow in the development of this multi-billion-dollar fund for small island developed states. But Kristalina, there has to be a conversation on treatment of debt And I know President Nasheed would be very keen to add his voice to that. But again, I believe there are some ambitious, what may look ambitious, but could actually be a quick win in terms of demonstrating ambition and deliverable